Look, I know this title is offsetting, but black men, understand that I understand we get attacked from different angles and get tore down. Understand, no video that I do addressing us is for that reason. It's for us to do better. Now, in order to do better, we have to look in the mirror and understand where we're falling short. That way we can correct those problems and move forward. So I have to get that disclaimer, because I understand a lot of times we get defensive and then we don't think as clearly, because now we in more of a defense mechanism. I'm not trying to do that by admitting to where we falling short. But aside from that, are black men failing the community? The answer is yes. The reason why I say the answer is yes, and I kind of touched on it with a previous video, dysfunction between black men and black women. I kind of touched on it to a certain extent, but as far as how we feel in the community, we can't depend on women to get things turned around within our community, because a lot of that is coming from our side. As far as you got the youth growing up in dysfunction and not having order or structure, and look, I gotta stop real quick. Also, additional to me not making any video to try to tear us down, only to have us look in the mirror and fix our problems. Additional to that, I know that there's systems and things put in place that have put us in the position that we're in. I'm with you 1,000%. But I also understand that we also play a part in that, and we, oftentimes are part of the reason for our destruction, on top of what we, dealing with. So anyway, but what I was saying was that you got the youth coming up in dysfunction and disorder and so on and so forth. Well, they later become men, and now here we are those, men now, once those young boys, and now they're looking up to us. Well, I wish they were looking up to us, but they really looking up to the entertainers and the people that they see on TV. And I don't agree with it, but I can understand, because if they looking around, they don't see a collective of black men that's showing them the proper way of what it is to be a man, what it is to be a pivotal part of your community. So that's part of the main reason I'm saying we feel in the community, because we are the muscle. All right, if we are not doing our part, it's too much room for error for a lot of different things to go on. So yes, there's systems and things in place, but we as men need to do a better job of coming together to start working together and getting on the same page as to not only how to fix the issue, but we got to start doing it. Because we oftentimes we have good ideas, or we talk forever in a day, and we'll talk in circles like this is the way you do it. Then somebody else may have a difference of opinion. If it's all productive, why not apply it all and actually start doing it? Because we have to stop talking and actually start doing. And I'm trying not to repeat anything that I said in that other video, because this is not necessarily pertaining to women. Well, it can pertain to women and children, because they have to be protected. We the protectors, we the muscle. They have to always feel protected. Now, unfortunately, there's going to be instances here and there that may happen, okay? But I wish we can get it to a certain point that we set a precedent that no foul stuff takes place within our community without being addressed by the men. Being that we not doing that, that is a huge part of how we feel in the community, and we're so disorganized and so disconnected with each other from um, us, and we were conditioned this way. We see each other as enemies versus brothers, or on the same team, or however you want to look at it. Many of us, we have toxic mentalities that play into the dysfunction within our community. So we got a toxic mentality where we see our other brothers as enemies. We don't know how to come to common grounds when we go to the youth, and I know some adults, because we all were youth at one point in time. Now we're adults, so it's just a never-ending cycle. But we killing each other, and I know that's a weapon that's really being used and pushed to the youth. And the youth right now is so out of order, and we don't have enough collective men that are trying to do something about it. Everybody always responding, I just be staying out the way, man, X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. We don't operate with that village mentality that we need for our community to thrive. So with the youth having so much dysfunction that they have, and we as a collective of men are not addressing them at all, really. Like, yeah, individually there's going to be people doing that, but we need to start thinking as a collective, because a few individuals is not going to be enough to do the things that we need to do. So I got certain videos, and one video in particular was like, we feeding the kids to the wolves. And this could kind of go it's not kind of, this could go to both parents, as far as the mom and the dad or whatever. But it's like, for the kids to be able to just do whatever, really. I don't want to point out specific stuff, all inclusive of nonsense. For them to be able to do that, and we got kids making music videos with guns and X, Y, and Z and drugs and this and that, and it's how I was raised back in the day. Even if we were engaging in dumb stuff, there were people to address it, and most of the time we wouldn't be engaging in it to the stance that how this generation is. This generation has amplified it times 1,000, but we men have not come in as a collective to try to correct it. So by and large, we are failing the black community, but we can get it back in order if we really wanted to, but from a standpoint of coming together to do it. Now, I'm one of those ones that if we all individually doing our part, then by proxy we working as a collective. But we're not all individually doing that. We got too many men that may have good ideas or whatever the case is, or may could be useful in some type of way, but all they do is work their 9 to 5. They stay out the way. They do what they do. And hey, man, the youth gone. It ain't nothing I can do. Can't talk to them. They don't listen. And I understand that. I understand some of them, as far as the youth, can be very disrespectful. It's hard to talk to them, so on and so forth. But I can say for me personally, and I don't know if it's an energy field, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come up to a youth and try to correct something or talk to them about something, and they probably ain't gonna have nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but at least attempt to do it, because I can say I've had more good experiences with addressing a youngster that I don't know than I've had bad. I honestly haven't had any bad situation when I address seeing a youth doing something, some type of nonsense. So we gotta have more men that's willing to do that, and not think, well, it's not my kids, so I'm not gonna say anything to them. But additional to that, I will say, parents, we have to start operating with that mentality that if somebody addresses your child in a respectful way, but it's in a progressive way too, it's just to correct, like, look out, youngster, like, you can't be out here moving like that, whatever you gotta say. We as parents gotta look at that as a good thing, and not come to the defense of, oh, you can't say nothing to my child, so on and so forth, boom, boom, boom. But each side has to operate with respect. You shouldn't be disrespecting no youngster. No youngster should be disrespecting no elder, nobody older than them. And if something has to be addressed, it has to be respectful. Of course, you shouldn't be putting your hands on somebody else's child, and of course, your child shouldn't be trying to fight, you know, an adult or whatever the case is. We should move in a certain way that's about nothing but respect. So it may be other ways to, you know, that we can get our community in order, but I'm trying my best not to make my videos too long, because I can drag some stuff on, and you know, I talk too much. I say that when I do actually talk, I talk too much. So black men, all I want us to do is get our community in order. We gotta start doing that for us to even have a chance of changing anything, because if we don't do that, along with other things, that as far as a community, not just black men, but as far as a community, if we don't do certain things, we are not going to get anything accomplished. It's all we're doing right now is wasting time and repeating stuff that's already happened, and then we argue, this is the best way to do it, this is the best way to do it, no, so on and so forth. So we need to start doing stuff and stop talking about it. But as far as any black men that see this, now, we don't necessarily have to work with each other physically or whatever the case may be, but we can connect in some form of fashion, whether that's email, and if that, you know, progresses into something else, because I can say I'm not a trusting person. I really don't trust nobody. But if I can work with you from a distance or whatever the case is, and then we possibly get to the point of, if we happen to be in the same city or whatever the case is, you know, I might be willing to do that. But I want to deal with step one. Can we all get on the same page as far as men? We got to do a better job to get our community in order. Leave your comments how we can do that. Add to the comment section, add to the conversation. I don't have all the answers, you don't have all the answers, he don't have all the answers, so on and so forth. We can compile all of the answers and then apply the action.